always love my baby Trey. Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, tweeted, quote, Lord, during my darkest hour, I lean on you. You are all that I have. At the end of the day, God is still in control. Thank you all for your prayers and support. I will love you forever. Trayvon, in the name of Jesus, unquote. I'm joined now by an attorney for the Martin family, Jasmine Rand. Jasmine, I see you're wearing a hoodie. I suspect that fashion choice is conscious as a measure of solidarity for Trayvon. Tell us, what is the family's reaction to this verdict that must have been heartbreaking?
You know, the family is certainly heartbroken, but I think the legal team, Tracy and Sabrina, woke up a little bit stronger this morning in light of the not guilty verdict. And despite the pain and the heartbreak that we may be feeling, we have a greater obligation to society to continue to try to fight for change and fight for the injustices that face young children in this country, in particular young African-American males. And we will continue to stand until we do believe that that our society is in a more equal state. And Thurgood Marshall called upon all attorneys not to be a parasite upon society, but to be a social engineer. So today, I'm wearing my hoodie as a symbol to all of those who have supported us, the millions of followers we've had who brought George Zimmerman to the arrest, who brought him to meet a jury of his peers, and we have faith that next time we will get a conviction. How
do they view the family? How do they view the verdict? Do they view it as, well, the prosecution didn't meet the burden of a reasonable doubt? Do they view it in the way that I've heard a lot of commentators say, that this is just another example of how if you're a black man in America, you can't get justice? What's their view of the verdict?
We support the prosecution's effort. We are so thankful to them for standing beside us when nobody else would. This is nobody's fault but George Zimmerman's, and for the system that allows this type of behavior to continue, to the Sanford Police Department, who did not conduct an improper investigation, who did not arrest him when he should have been arrested and let a lot of the evidence escape with him. The prosecution put on all of the evidence that we needed. Did we need a use of force expert to tell us that a gun versus Skittles? We don't need a use of force expert for that. Trayvon Martin had none of George Zimmerman's blood on his hands, and George Zimmerman will forever have Trayvon Martin's blood on his hands, as John Guy said in his summation.
Jasmine, I'm not sure if you know this, but just minutes ago, President Obama issued a statement regarding the not guilty verdict for George Zimmerman. I'll read it to you. I want to get your reaction. Quote, the death of Trayvon Martin was a tragedy, not just for his family or for any one community, but for America. I know this case has elicited strong passions in the wake of the verdict. I know those passions may be running even higher, but we are a nation of laws, and the jury has spoken. I now ask every American to respect the call for calm reflection from two parents who lost their young son. And as we do, we should ask ourselves if we're doing all we can to widen the circle of compassion and understanding in our own communities. We should ask ourselves if we're doing all we can to stem the tide of gun violence that claims too many lives across this country on a daily basis. We should ask ourselves as individuals and as a society how we can prevent future tragedies like this. As citizens, that's a job for all of us. That's the way to honor Trayvon Martin. I don't know if you've had any chance, because that was the statement was issued just minutes before you came on our air. But if you've had a chance to talk to the family about it, or if you have a personal reaction to it, I'd love to hear it.
That was actually the first time that I've heard the statement from President Obama, and I want to personally thank him, not just for calling upon all communities to be peaceful and to accept the jury's understanding, as Tracy and Sabrina have. Nobody has suffered a greater loss than Tracy and Sabrina, and we share President Obama's sentiments in that regard, that we do not want to see any more of the same vigilante behavior that led to their son. But I am especially proud that out of the mouth of my president just came a call for change in our nation. And I think that that's what we're responding to, and the reason that I had the conviction to stand up this morning, continue to speak on behalf of my client, is because the millions of supporters out there, black, white, brown, Republican, Democrat, Muslim, Christian, who stood behind Tracy and Sabrina and said that that was our son too. And you can no longer walk through our nation today and place a bullet in the heart of an unarmed child because of the color of his skin. And I think what America has said is that we don't tolerate, whether or not that's the message we receive from the jury. We will continue to fight for justice.
All right, Jasmine Rand, attorney for the Martin family, thank you so much for joining us, and please extend our condolences to the Martin family for the loss of their son, of course.
Thank you for having me.